Na nishkramati brahma sampanavanna. Please repeat. Ayam tvatkadam rishtapiyushanayam. Sidochu. Ayam tvatkadam rishtapiyushanayam. Manovarana kleshadavagidada. Sharto vagado na samsarada. Nishkamati Sidauchu. Ayam samkatam rishtapiyushanayam. Manovarana kleshadavagnidagda. Rishartho vagado na sasmaradavam. Na nishkramati brahma sampanavanna. Ladies, Sidhaucho. Ayam tvam katam rishtapiyushanayam. Manovarana kleshadavagnidagda. Sharto vagado nasasmadadavam. Anishkramati brahma sampanavanna. Sida, the Siddhas. Uchu, prayed. Ayam, this. Krishna. Mrishta, pure. Piyusha, of nectar. Nadyam, in the river. Manaha, of the mind. Varana, the elephant. Klesha, sufferings. Davagni, by the forest fire. Dagdaha, burnt. Trisha, thirst. Artha, afflicted. Avagada, being immersed. Nasamsara, does not remember. Sorry, Nasasmara, does not remember. Davam, the forest fire or the miseries. Naniskramati, not come out. Brahma, the absolute. Sampana, vat, like having merged. Na, our. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. The Siddhas prayed, like an elephant that has suffered in a forest fire, but can forget all its troubles by entering a river. Our minds, O Lord, always merge in the nectarian river of your transcendental pastimes. And they desire never to leave such transcendental bliss, which is as good as the pleasure of merging in the Absolute. Purport. This statement is from the Siddhas, the inhabitants of Siddha Loka, where the 8 kinds of material perfection are complete. The residents of Siddha Loka have full control in the 8 kinds of yogic perfection. But from their statement, it appears that they are pure devotees. They always merge in the nectarian river of hearing of the pastimes of the Lord. Hearing of the pastimes of the Lord is called Krishna Katha. Similarly, there is a statement by Prahlad Maharaj that those who are always merged in the ocean of the nectar of describing the Lord's pastimes are liberated and have no fear of the material condition of life. The Siddhas say that the mind of an ordinary person is full of anxieties. The example is given of the elephant who has suffered in a forest fire and who enters into a river for relief. If a persons who are suffering in the forest fire of this material existence will only enter into the nectarian river of the description of the pastimes of the Lord, they will forget all the troubles of the miserable material existence. The Siddhas do not care for fruitive activities, such as performing sacrifices and achieving the good results. They simply merge in the transcendental discussions of the pastimes of the Lord. That makes them completely happy, without care for pious or impious activities. For those who are always in Krishna consciousness, there is no need to perform any kind of pious or impious sacrifices or activities. Krishna consciousness is itself complete, for it includes all the processes praised in the Vedic scriptures. Magyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Kadamba Swaminiti Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Krishna appeared personally on the Yagya arena, on the place where the Yagya was about to be performed. And it's interesting how different personalities now they are offering their prayers, and each one of the prayers has a very specific mood. It reflects the mood of the person who is offering the prayer. Like in the previous verse, Rishi Yauchu, the great sages, were praying, and their prayer was very philosophical. Like you are detached from everything, like how it is possible, because their minds are always thinking about how to be detached from the matter and how to mitigate material sufferings. So naturally their prayer was connected with this thing. And now the Siddhas, their prayer is interesting. They say we are experiencing some suffering in this material world because everyone in the material world experiences some kind of suffering. It can be physical, it can be mental, uh, it can come from the nature, but somehow or other we are suffering. And it's very interesting. According to our karma, we have to go through a certain amount of suffering in our life. And this cannot be changed, but you can make a deal with Krishna. Like, for example, you can tell Krishna, "Oh, Krishna, I'm suffering so much in my mind. I don't want this. Please do something about it." And Krishna says, "Okay, no problem." He takes away the pain from your mind, and suddenly you start having pain in your leg or your back or something else. So you cannot get rid of the amount of problems in life, but you can transform this amount of suffering to some other place. Like you may say to Krishna, "Oh, my dear Krishna, I don't want to suffer. Like this body is creating so many troubles. I don't want this. Please do something about it." And Krishna, he would just say, "Okay." And then no pains. Wow, I feel like when I was 20. And then some person comes and starts making your life miserable. And again, you're suffering. So this cannot be changed. But here the Siddhas, they are saying, the moment we start thinking about you and listening about your glories, our consciousness transfer in a different dimension. And we forget about all problems in life. It's not that they are not there. They are there, but we are not conscious about them. We forget about them. And this is how the process of Krishna consciousness works. Actually, Krishna consciousness transcends material platform. But it is not that the material platform will stop to exist. It's not that, okay, now material world will just disappear. No, but it can disappear for us. For us, it can disappear. Like the great Acharya Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he heard about statement of the Guru of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Gaura Kishore Das Babaji. And what was the statement? The statement was, "I would never go to Calcutta because this is the, the, the headquarters of Kali. I would never go there." Why? Because apparently he had some problems with his eyes, with his vision. And Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj really wanted to do something about it as a disciple. But he refused. And then when Bhaktivinoda Thakur heard about this statement, he said, "Kali?" Residing in Kolkata. He said, "Kali, where is Kali?" "I don't see any Kali. I see only Vaikuntha, only the spiritual world." So the consciousness can change everything, can make a big change in our life. And that's why Krishna consciousness is about changing the consciousness, not the externals. Someone may come to the door of the Hare Krishna temple and say, "But you're spiritual people. You have to do something good for us, for the ordinary guys. Feed us." And yes, we do feed people, but it's not about feeding people. This is not the main focus. The focus is how can we change the consciousness of the people. And yes, if prasadam helps, we'll do that. If Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Mahamantra helps, we'll do that. If hearing Krishna Katha helps, then we will do that. Whatever helps to change the consciousness of the people, this is what we are going to do. And Srila Prabhupada said, this is the greatest welfare activity. There is nothing harder than this. Some people are saying that the Siddhas, they reside between earthly planet and the heavenly planets. So we have 7 planetary systems in the universe, and we are in the middle, earthly planets. And then little above us live living entities like Siddhas, Charanas, Vidyadharas. They are not as great as, let's say, Indra or the main demigods, but they are very, very pious living entities. And as here Srila Prabhupada is saying, it appears like they are pure devotees. Appears may mean that definitely some of them or many of them are pure devotees, maybe not all of them. But according to their level of consciousness, the prayer that they are offering, it appears like they are pure devotees, pure souls. There is a verse from the beginning of Śrimad Bhāgavatam. Shrinvata svakata Krishna punya shravana kirtana kridi antastohi abhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam. So, in this verse it is explained that if someone is listening Krishna Katha, Svakata Krishna, the everything connected with Krishna, the pastimes of Krishna, the qualities of Krishna, the form of Krishna, if we are listening about these topics already, just by themselves, they are pious. Punya Shravana Kirtana. If you just listen them already, they bring you so much punya, so much piety, so much success in life. But this is not all. What is the greatest benefit? Hridi Antastohi. The personality who is situated in our heart, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hridi Antastohi Abhadrani Vidunoti. He is destroying everything impure in our heart. Vidunoti. All the contaminations, they are completely destroyed. Why? Because he is Vidunoti Suhrit Satam. He is our friend. And he is residing in our heart. And he is waiting for an opportunity so that Krishna can act. When we are listening Krishna Katha, this is like we are saying to Krishna, okay, Krishna, I'm serious. I want to give my time to hear for you, to learn something for you. And this is like a proof that we are serious in Krishna consciousness. And then Krishna starts acting. He's doing his magic. We have to do our endeavor from our side, and then Krishna will do his part from his side. Srila Prabhupada is also mentioning about a verse, a statement of Prahlad Maharaj, that those who are always merged in the ocean of nectar of describing the Lord's pastimes are liberated and have no fear of the material condition of life. Who knows this verse from Bhāgavatam? Navudvijay para duratya vaitaranyas tvat virya gayana mahamrita magnachita shuchetato vimukacheta sa indriyartha maya sukhaya baram udvahato vimuda. Yes, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, because my mind is always completely immersed in you, I don't have any problems with the material existence. I don't experience troubles. I don't have fears. Why? Because I'm thinking all the time about you. And still, I'm sad. Why I'm sad? Why I'm feeling unhappiness? Prahlad Maharaj is saying, because I'm seeing all these fools and rascals who are trying to enjoy the material world, and they are suffering so much. Maya sukhaya baram udvahato vimudam. They think, oh, let me squeeze a little bit more happiness from the material world, from the material existence. But the result is, they are carrying the big burdens of the material world. And when the devotees go to them and tell them, hey, you don't have to carry this. No problem. You don't need it. Just leave it here, now, on the spot. And they are saying, no, I will never do that. My whole dynasty was carrying this burden. My grandfather and my father, and I'll carry it now, and then I'll give it to my children. And this is the glory in my life. Devotees are saying, no, just leave this here and come with me. Let's cross this river and let's go on the other shore. And then there is a party going on. The party of the Hare Krishna movement. Always dancing, singing, and eating, feasting, yes. And when you get tired, you don't get tired. You just go on, like, I would say 24/7, but it's not 24/7, it's whatever. 365 days, 7. 24. Yeah, so Pravat Maharaj, this is his mood. Because I'm completely immersed in Krishna consciousness, I don't experience any troubles in life. But still, I'm suffering. Why? Because I'm seeing the troubles of all these living entities. I want to help them. I want to do something about them. Srila Prabhupada is also explaining that in the material world, everyone suffers. Everyone is in the forest of the material existence. And sometimes in this forest, there is a fire. And in other places, Srila Prabhupada is saying, it's not that someone started the fire. Just naturally it happens. The bamboo sticks, they start, what is the word? Yeah, rubbing in each other, and suddenly there is a fire. So in the material world, to have problems, you don't need a special reason. The problems, they are everywhere. Rather, if there is no problem, you have to be surprised. Oh, how it is that today the whole day passed and no problems. Amazing. This is the nature of the material world. Always some problem, always some anxiety. But again, if we elevate our consciousness, this is the right way to get rid of all of this. My spiritual master, he likes to tell a story how he's originally from Holland, and one time he was in Holland during the winter. That's a horrible experience. I mean, even in the summer sometimes it's horrible. Because the weather is similar to the weather in New York. Like nothing personal, but like 2 days ago we were on Washington Square and the forecast was that it will be whatever, some amazing temperature, summer. And suddenly, like all of a sudden, like for 20 minutes, the weather completely changed and there was this heavy cold wind and everyone started like looking for jackets. And so Amsterdam is the same situation. Sometimes when we were doing King's Day Harinam, it goes like from whatever 10:30 in the morning till 7 at night, non-stop walking and Harinam. And the weather will change 4 or 5 times. Like there will be sun and everyone will be very happy, and then suddenly a rain will start and everyone will be completely wet, and then the sun again and everyone will dry. And then rain again. So yeah, this is the situation. So one time Maharaj, he was in Holland and he thought, I cannot stand this anymore. I have to do something. And he saw a tourist agency and he said, okay, let me see what they have there. And he entered inside and he bought a ticket. For where? For Mombasa. Wow, nice, sun, warm weather. And he got a flight, he went to Mombasa, and he went on the beach and sat down in front of a palm tree, and he was enjoying life. Now, finally, some sense gratification. And then while he was just looking the ocean and enjoying the view, the nice sand and the beach, and suddenly, next to him, a scorpion fell down. And Maharaj was like, okay, let me just move a little bit. So he moved whatever, half meter. And then after 5 minutes, another scorpion. And he said, okay, that's getting serious. I don't want to experience this. So he said, okay, let me just go and swim in the ocean. So he was just kind of almost entering the ocean, and a man saw him and said, where are you going? Where are you going? He said, I'm just going to swim. He said, you cannot swim. Maharaj said, who are you to tell me that I cannot swim? I am from Holland. We are born in the water. Of course I can swim. He said, no, 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 you don't understand. There are sharks inside. You cannot swim. There will be a problem. And so Maharaj, he thought, okay, let me just stay on the beach, but I cannot go under the tree. And he was just staying on the sand, and the heavy sun was just on the top of his head. And he said, and I got realization. You cannot be happy in the material world. It doesn't matter where you go. Mombasa or Holland, you will have to suffer as much as you have to in your life. So again, what is the conclusion? The conclusion is become Krishna conscious by immersing our consciousness in Krishna Katha all the time, constantly, non-stop. And in this way, although material world will be here, and although the material problems and suffering will be part of this existence, we will not see them. We will just know, we won't notice them. Did it happen to you sometimes? You are very, very busy doing something that you want to do, and your mind is completely absorbed, and you, whatever, cut yourself, or just you have a small wound, and after whatever, 5 or 10 or 20 minutes, suddenly you see, well, what happened? Like I even did not notice. You felt like that? Yes? So this is a proof how when our consciousness becomes completely absorbed in something, we forget about the reality, actually. Like a drunken personality. He becomes so much drunk that he's walking and he's whatever, kicking something, and he's falling, but he's completely unconscious about all these problems and suffering. Then next day, when he comes to his normal consciousness, he starts feeling, oh, why this is swollen and I have blue here. So like that, the same principle. Krishna Katha is so powerful, it can free us from all our bad habits, from all our diseases. Like one of the main material diseases is lust. Why? Because by just coming in the material world, we want to enjoy material nature. Material nature belongs to Krishna and is meant for the happiness, for the pleasure of Krishna. But when we come in the material world, we don't see it like that. We see, oh, actually this is meant for me, for my sense gratification. It's not for Krishna. That's why when we make yagya, the priest all the time, he has to, when he puts the ghee in the fire, he has to say, yes, idam Krishna, idam namama. This is for the pleasure of Krishna. This is not for my pleasure. It is said that in the beginning of the creation, when Brahma created the demigods and the demons, he gave them different ingredients for yagya, everything they needed to do yagya. And he saw they reacted in a different way. The demigods, they would immediately start performing yagya. Demons, they would immediately start eating everything themselves, not doing the yagya. So this is the difference in the mentality. When we come here in the material world, we adopt this mentality, this demoniac idea of everything is for me. Selfishly, we want to enjoy. And when we listen Krishna Katha, this process reverses. There is a famous verse in 10th canto of Śrimad Bhāgavatam, Vikriditum vrajavadubiridam cha Vishnu, Shradanvito anushrinuyat adavarnayetya. What was the next? Bhakti param bhagavati pratilabhya kamam hritrogam ashvapahinoti achireta. So someone who is constantly listening about the pastimes of Krishna, his mind becomes so much purified by this that gradually he becomes free from the material lust, from this idea that we want to enjoy everything that actually belongs to Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining to Arjuna, you have to do your duty. Whatever is your duty in life, you have to do it. Everyone has a duty. Yes? Yes or yes? So what's your duty, Bhaktafil? Okay. Do service for the devotees. Very good. What's your duty? Okay. So we have two duties, spiritual and material. Spiritual is to serve Krishna, and material. What is your material duty? What is your position? Okay, Namitika, yeah. So what's about you? What is your dharma? Eternal dharma is clear. What about the other one? Uh-oh. Okay, think about it. But this is very important, like we have to know our position, our situation, because then it's clear. It's very clear what I have to do. Like there is no like confusion, internal confusion. And still sometimes, even if it's clear what is our dharma, sometimes we don't do it. So Arjuna is asking this question to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. He's saying, okay, you're telling me we have to do our duty, our dharma. But why this, sometimes people, they know what is their dharma, they know what is their duty, and still they are not doing it. What is the reason? Why they are not doing it? Kama esha krodha esha. Krishna is saying, Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhava. Oh, because of this lust, Arjuna, which is born from the mode of passion. And then if it's not satisfied later, it becomes anger. This is the reason why people, they don't do their duties sometimes. So, you know you have to do something, but the passion in your mind, the lust is telling you, no, 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 just forget about this. You can do it later. Just go and enjoy life. There are more important things to do than just work, work, work. What is that? Now you're young, enjoy life. Later you work. Enjoy now, samadhi later. So, but this problem can be solved. And what is the solution given here? We just have to listen Krishna Katha. And this Krishna Katha should have a certain intensity. Like if you open, now someone is opening the door and he just listens one sentence and he closes and he goes somewhere. And then he has some problem. And some devotee is telling him, Prabhu, you have to listen Krishna Katha. He's saying, but I heard, I was there. The Bhāgavatam class was going on and I heard it with my own ears. I cannot understand why the process is not working. Well, maybe you have to invest a little bit more energy. The intensity should be a little bit more serious, yes? Like you are making muscles and then you take like the dumbbell and you just think, one. Okay, that's enough for today. And then 2 years later, you realize nothing is happening, no growth. And you go to your trainer, you're saying, I cannot understand, I'm doing exactly what you told me, I'm very pure exercise, like I'm really conscious about it, what is not working? Well, maybe you have to improve the intensity. Some intensity should be there. So Krishna Katha in the same way, like if we are able to organize our life in such a way that we have, let's say, Devamrita Maharaj, his standard for brahmacharis is 2 hours a day. yoga and 2 hours a day reading, listening Krishna Katha. If we can do this, at least, we'll see actually our mind won't be disturbed so much by, by our material anarthas, our contaminations. It will be very easy to deal with them. But when we don't have enough Krishna Katha and this goes for a long period, day after day after day, suddenly we feel how we are becoming weaker and weaker and weaker. Then it's very easy for Maya to catch us. She is just showing something in front of our eyes and we are already, yes, I want this. I want cheesecake. I want pizza. So like that, this is the solution of the problem. If we have enough Krishna Katha in our life, everything will be perfect. And we won't feel anymore the heating of the material fire in the material world. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any questions, comments? Yes.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the class. So in terms of almost like kind of qualifying, qualitatively seeing Krishna Katha as the audience, is there different types of hearing in terms of Krishna Katha as the recipient? And what is the essence of the distinction between hearing from maybe a neophyte and an advanced devotee, or
Hearing from different level of devotees. Well,
level of devotee, like me as a neophyte and an advanced devotee, like what's the difference in terms of their hearing of whether it's from advanced or not, and that you could also say that as well.
okay. Well, first when we hear Krishna Katha, it should be coming from a devotee, because then Krishna Katha will be beneficial. If not, Shastra is saying then the result will be just like you're drinking a milk which is touched by a poisonous snake. So the source should be pure, and now different devotees, they would speak according to their realization. It's always beneficial to hear Krishna Katha from a devotee, even if he's the most neophyte devotee. If he's sincere, and if he's just repeating what he have heard from his authorities or what he had read from Shastra, it's always beneficial. And the more realization the devotee has, the better impact on our heart. Why? Because a neophyte devotee may not be so sure that Krishna Katha is the real goal of life and material sense gratification is not really needed. Whereas someone who is very, very advanced, he has this very deep realization. And when he speaks, you'll get this from his talk. You understand, yes, actually, why I'm wasting my time? Let me just completely surrender to Krishna. He has this power. And then in terms of listener, according to his spiritual growth or realization, he would get less or more from the speaker. Sometimes if someone is very, very neophyte, he may even want to change what he has heard from the speaker. Like the speaker, he made certain point, but then you come with completely different understanding from the class. Like you're coming out and, wow, that was the best Bhagavatam class I ever heard. Because Prabhuji, he said, yeah, we can just, it's not a problem to enjoy life. But we have to do also sometimes something about Krishna, he said. But you know, I mean, sense gratification is, at the end of the day, Krishna gave us this body. So Krishna, he'll be very happy actually if we enjoy life. I'm sure about that. And yes, Krishna, he'll be happy, but the conclusion is a little bit different. Krishna will be even more happy if we are using our body for his pleasure. As Arjuna is saying in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Oh, Govinda, why you want me to take part in this ghastly warfare? And then Srila Prabhupada is explaining, wait a minute, Arjuna, he is calling Krishna Govinda, meaning that, but you are the person who is giving pleasure to the senses, you have to give pleasure to my senses. Srila Prabhupada is saying, but no, actually Krishna, he has to experience pleasure. We have to give pleasure to his senses. So like that, and if someone is like in a Madhyam consciousness, he'll take the classes very seriously. He'll really listen very carefully, and he would take notes, and uh, he'll be he'll be taking Krishna Katha as an impediment for his uh, complete surrender to Krishna. He may not be still ready to do that, but in his mind he's relishing this. When he hears this message of completely surrender your life to Krishna, he's relishing this. Yes, I know this is the goal of life. Okay, maybe I cannot do it still. It doesn't matter. I know what is the real goal of life, and this brings me happiness. When I hear someone is saying it, oh, so nice. When the speaker is saying that we have to preach Krishna consciousness and give Krishna consciousness to others, oh, this gives me so much happiness. Sometimes a neophyte listener, if he hears the speaker to speak too strongly about materialism and materialistic personalities, he may become angry with the speaker. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati is saying this. A neophyte devotee, sometimes he becomes angry to the speaker. Why he's criticizing so much others? They're normal people. He's also like them. So like that. And if someone is very, very, very advanced, he is not seeing Krishna Katha and everything. About himself in the beginning, I would listen my spiritual master, but I won't understand. Because that was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the like one of the greatest scholars in the universe. He said, but I was just sitting there and listening carefully. And my Guru Maharaj, he saw this. Oh, this Abhay, he likes to listen. He likes to hear. So this is the qualification. You just sit down and listen. And gradually you'll learn so much. Like for me personally, I can say that I have learned much more from listening classes of the senior devotees than I have learned from reading the books. I also learn a lot from the books because everything is in the books of Srila Prabhupada. But somehow, the advanced devotees, they have this mystic power. They chew Krishna Katha for you. And they are feeding you like a baby. So it's very easy. Something that it may take you such a long time to understand, they can just give it to you in 3 sentences. And you just, wow, I never thought about this. It's amazing. Like, it's amazing. Suddenly you understand something. Like I remember in the beginning with Pandava Prabhu when we started going to Mayapur, and some of the classes like we would sit down and understand easily, but there were so many classes that you would just go and you would listen and what was that? I don't understand. Like what is he talking about? What is this? What's the meaning of this word? And Nishkama and Sakama and this yoga and that yoga and what? Like, but then when you just continue listening, at some point you understand. Aha, this is what he means by saying this word or this sentence. So yeah, if we are eager to listen, that means we are qualified. As we said in the beginning, this verse from Bhagavatam is explaining. The moment we are eager to hear, Krishna sees, oh, he's serious. Okay, I'll purify his heart. This is how it works. Yes, this is how Srila Prabhupada was qualified. Okay, thank you very much. Grandara Śrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shishi Radha Govinda ki. Nitai Gaura Premanandi.